whatever you want to put into it. We also allow you to engage directly with your fans through a timeline-based commenting system and distribute your content to multiple devices. At launch, will be on iOS and Android, and then quickly go to other app-based platforms. Again, we're Mopix. Join us in defining the future of film and video distribution. Thank you.
Is the distribution only through the apps, or are you also distributing through Amazon, through Netflix, other digital distribution?
So the goal is not to be an aggregator. The goal is to be a direct consumer solution. So right now we're on iOS. We'll be on Android at launch, and then we'll also do a web app through Google Chrome and then integrated with Google TV, but not through Netflix or Amazon.
And not through sort of Apple TV, but through the app again.
Exactly.
Can you walk us through your analytics? And do you have analytics like throughout the platform and what you're tracking as far as like how deep into the movie people watch or what's that?
Yeah, so we can track. Right now we're using Flurry as our initial analytics, so we can basically track anything that you would on an app basis. So what they, how many people view the photo, how long they view the video app. A lot more information included. For Netflix, for example, doesn't give any usage information back to the actual content creators, so they don't really know who their audience is or who actually bought the content. We can give that information back to that. And we're also doing a Facebook log, so we can actually get that demographic information, which is something that other platforms don't give content creators.
You're basically saying there are a lot of movies, they don't find their audience, they have a platform that makes the process more efficient. It seems to me that you're solving only one part of the problem, which is self-publishing, but then what about the discovery? Once I'm alone, watch thousands of movies, how do I rank and how do I discover that? What do you do to discover?
Yeah, so our strategy with that is to build tools that allow content creators to market themselves. Whether that's kind of some reward to a Kickstarter mentality where they can easily share it and embed it within their website versus kind of the lean back approach that is the current distribution model, which is I'm going to give you my film and I don't want anything to do with it. We're kind of at this shift in content creation where filmmakers and long-form content specifically is going through the way of you pay me to make my film, and then I just gave my rights away to wanting to retain those rights and have more control and a chance to get more money.
You guys are doing a deep integration, say with Facebook, not just from a Connect perspective,
Yeah,
but
so
allow people to do their own fan pages and provide marketing tools for the internet creator.
We'll start to build that out. Right now it's integrated with OpenGraph, so as a user, if you're watching an app that is distributed through Mopix, it'll show up in your kind of your profile. That's kind of the extent of it.
So I think this is interesting to contrast this with, I don't know if you were at the last session, but there was the other company, Tug, which was also trying to solve sort of a similar problem. How do you get these films seen by larger audiences? And we were arguing a little bit that why don't you distribute it digitally? And I think this is the right direction. I think you're removing friction. If people want to see this on their iPad, then the filmmaker sort of should deliver it to them on their iPads. It's my opinion. And you're sort of removing the friction that it takes for for these movies to be seen. I guess the question is, what are you doing to help people sort through these films, right? Because the sorting mechanism in Hollywood today is basic marketing budgets, right? If I see a lot of advertising for it, or I see the previews or trailers, or there's big stars, right? All that takes money, and the independent film is more based on word of mouth and buzz. Have you used any of that? Have you built any of that into your product so that you can have this viral distribution through word of mouth?
Yeah, it's a great question. In the music world, for instance, it's a low commitment to try something new. In the film world, you don't want to sit through a film for an hour that might not be right for you. So what we've done is in our marketplace app, we have a function called Explore, and it's more operates similar to a TV station, and we're just pulling in kind of the behind-the-scenes content, stuff like trailers, extras, stuff to kind of get you a feel for what the film is without having to get into it. And that's kind of our initial approach. And then I think it's a consumer mindset that ultimately will change as filmmakers start to do self-distribution. I mean, Kevin Smith was really one of the first people to do self-distribution last year with Red State, but it cost him $1 million to self-distribute it. If our platform would cost you, significantly less to self-distribute, our goal is that more people are going to become involved in that marketing and they'll communicate to them.
What are the economics for the filmmaker versus current?
So we're doing a mixture of percentage of gross revenue for filmmakers that are historically already embedded in the business because that's their distribution deal, and now we're just taking 50% of gross. And then we're looking to kind of do mostly one-time fees and monthly fees. We operate similar to if you're familiar with like a Zinio or Graphically that are doing kind of self-distribution for other categories.
50%. That sounds like a lot to me coming out of the film industry. Is that a lot?
No, it's actually not a lot. They're used to giving up about 90%.
Can you go through yours and the team's background with it?
Yeah, so my background is in entertainment marketing. I used to do, I ran an advertising agency that did mostly stuff for Warner Brothers and Disney. My co-founder built an app for Warner Brothers trailer app and then also a couple of apps for Disney. We're doing mostly entertainment marketing. Our strength is on the iOS side. That's kind of what we've been doing for the last couple of years.
All right, we're going to open up for questions, Q&A from the audience.
I know you're not fully built out on it, but give us a better sense. Is it just going to be Facebook and Twitter? How deep is the self-marketing going to go for a filmmaker?
I think a lot of it evolves as we start having conversations with people. I mean, we're not focusing we're not focusing on the marketing side yet. We're focusing on being able to kind of build that funnel and that pipeline. So we'd like to be able to go whatever platforms are relevant to where the audience is. To me, it's about if someone makes a horror film and they're going to make another 8 horror films, they should be able to build that audience rather than the current ecosystem, which is you make one film and then you have to create that audience again from scratch. You can't take your audience with you on the road.
Switching to the technical side, could you just quickly walk us through if I were a filmmaker and had a film, how it would get digitized and end up with Mopix and so forth?
So we have a one-stop kind of video encoding process. So we're not only doing one video output instead of the traditional kind of 5 or 10, which is why we're kind of slow rolling out the processes. It defaults to actually streaming at launch, and then the user will have opportunity to download it, so it allows us to kind of handle that encoding process.
And does it live on your site?
Yeah, so we're covering hosting and playback feeds as well.
And is it?
We're on just Amazon S3.
In the back.
You guys, are there any rights issues? Possible movies that want to distribute through local channels, allowing rights to you guys while they're not
Yeah, we're non-exclusive. So as long as you didn't give the rights away to someone else, that's fine. Typically, what we found is we're dealing with legacy clients right now, or legacy video. We're limited in terms of what we can distribute. So, Canada, for example, there's a company called Mongrel that owns all rights for Canada. So if any Canadians in here, you probably won't be able to watch any Mopix films for a while. We're limited by other things as well. But I think that's all changing as people get more savvy.
Piracy issues?
So we're doing our video as a DRM solution as well, but it's only on we do the download. We do a token system, so it's a single download. We're not allowing people to do multiple device download. They can only choose one device right now.
Do you see the YouTube original content and partnership model as some competition or a competitor in some aspect?
So I think YouTube does really well with well-known content and long-form content. So if you're doing anything under 20,000 downloads on the YouTube model, you might make $5, right? But if you're selling the content, and you're selling it for $1, potentially you make 20,000. So, I think it's kind of they both have their places in the marketplace.
All right, that's it.